Everyone, and welcome to a new video. If you're new here, my name is Mohammed. We continue our training and preparation for Elastic Certified SIEM Analyst exam, and today with a new topic. We will discuss today ECS, or short, or Elastic Common Schema. With that being said, let's jump to the documentation. So first of all, what's ECS? So Elastic Common Schema, from the name, is a schema of let's say it's a naming convention for the fields in Elastic. Usually, let's take this as an example. Let's say you have two network devices, right? One's device A from Cisco and another device B coming from another provider. So every, let's say, company, they have their own naming convention, right? So let's talk about, for example, host name. So device number one, or A, is called host underscore name, and B, they call it host name directly, no underscore, no dot, no nothing. So in this case, we have two fields, right? We don't have one field. Like technically, it's one field, it's host name, but the way how is indexed in Elasticsearch is completely different. And here's the point. Like here, if you want to create a visualization, if you want to, I don't know, run aggregation, if you want to run the detection rule, whatever, here in this case you have to write two queries, right? It's not the same field, right? If you want to look for a host name, you have to do in the same query or two queries, host underscore name and host name directly. And here it's come ECS. So whatever the naming from the provider, before we index the Elastic into, or sorry, before we index any document in Elastic, we make sure it's in ECS, or in Elastic Common Schema. If you are using the beats, right, whatever it's winlog beat, file beats, metric beat, whatever the beats, or if you are using Elastic Agent with whatever integration you're using, the ECS is out of the box, so you don't need to deal, or you don't need to cover the or configure the mapping or the Elastic Common Schema, which is not the case if you send in data directly to Elasticsearch, or if you're using Logstash or any other tool to send the data to Elastic. Here in this case, you're not sending or the data is not in ECS or not in Elastic Common Schema, and here you have to work on it. Like you have to create or map the fields manually to the ECS. So this is the first benefit. The second, we know in Elastic we have built-in detection rules, we have built-in dashboards, we have built-in visualization, we have built-in machine learning job, and so on and so forth. If your data is in ECS, you just need to enable the data or send the data, and you will be able to explore this built-in features. If the data is not in ECS, here in this case, you will not benefit from the built-in dashboard, whatever, like all the list that I named. Now, you won't see one of using it. So we said how we can use it. So let's see here an example. So here you have a log file. So here we have source, right? Here we have client IP. Here we have Apache, whatever IP, remote IP. Here the user IP and source IP. So here, this is the fields, right? And this is how it's come originally from the whatever here, from the who make this tool. In this case, is I believe the Apache server making this logs. And you see here the naming, right? So here you see this is the naming. If we are using Apache integration from Elastic Agent or FileBeat, here in this case, this log or this field will be by the default mapped or changed to source.ip, right? The same with or here, for example, source is gonna be source.ip. Here is gonna be client.ip, for example, and here is gonna be Apache access.remote IP, and so on and so forth. again, the benefits, you'll be able to use the built-in dashboard. So you just add the integration of Apache and you just go to the dashboard and you find the dashboard already there and the data is there and everything is working fine. The same for detections, the same for rules, machine learning jobs, and so on and so forth. This is another example. Sometimes we have just the field, right? We don't have we have just the value of the field. We don't have the field. Like here in this example, we have the field, which is here, for example, SRC or client IP, and here we have the value. Here in this example, we don't have the field, or we don't have the field name, so we have just the value. As you can see here, the IP, here's, I don't know, the user, here the request, for example, here the timestamp, here the request again, the port, whatever. So here, also, if you are using, or if we are using integrations or one of the beats, you don't need also to add the fields here manually. So it's gonna be already here. So you have here, for example, the first is gonna be source address, the second one is gonna be a timestamp, and the third, where is it? Here the get is gonna be a request, a HTTP request method, and so on and so forth. So you don't need to deal with or to map your field manually, right? This is the second example. Okay, so best practices. Here in this case, let's say you have a new field, or you have a field and the ECS or the integration from Elastic, it didn't support this field. It's a new field, and you go and you didn't see, like in documentation, we're gonna see in a bit a few examples, or where you can see the here the field reference. There is no field. So here in this case, you the recommendation is to use all the time lowercase. You don't use uppercase in the name in the field, and use dot, right? Why we use dots? We saw here previously that, or as we know, the data in Elastic is in JSON, right? And here it will help a lot, like especially with a nested field. So we have event, original, event, time, event, source, event, whatever, or here, for example, http.response, http.response.body.byte, and so on and so forth. So even if you are mapping your data by yourself, this is the best practices. So use the dots and the lowercase. This is the core or the parent, this is the child, this is the child of the child, or this is the child of this parent. Here a few examples if you want to refer. Here you see all the fields, right, that we can use. If we open any one, let's say a host, you will see all the other fields. So here, for example, host architecture is give you the type, description. So here's keyword, and here the description of it, here the level, and here is an example of this value, right? So CPU usage, for example, here is gonna be float, is gonna be a percentage. Domain, for example, here they give you an example of the domain. This is a brief description for the field, and so on and so forth. So if you want to build, or if you want to see how, for example, we name in a certain field, you can come here and look for the field, and you just click it. Will give you a description and an example of it. If you click again, it will redirect you to other examples here, for example, from OpenTelemetry or other examples, right? Okay, let me see. This is how we use it. Let me also close this one. Here's this one. Okay, so now this is the first part. Now there is other parts, like you keep sending the data, you keep sending a new data, adding in new integrations, and you don't know, like, are you, like, does all the data in ECS, are you missing something? So it's not easy to go manually and check, right? Like to go here in Discover, for example, and see your data, or open the mapping, like here, you open a field, you open a document, and you see if it's in ECS or no. But you can, yeah, I was saying, like, you can, there is a quick and efficient way to do that. So you go here all the way to dashboards, you click on dashboards, and you see here data quality, and you see here is gonna check if your data is in ECS or if you're missing something. So here it's built in, you don't need to do anything. So you click, and here it will redirect you to this nice dashboard. It's gonna show you here, if you move the mouse, as you can see, 100% on ECS, and this one is also 100% in ECS. In this case, let's say I have 1 field or 10 fields or whatever, like fields that are not mapped to the ECS, you will be able to find them here. If you move the mouse, you will find the percentage of the data that are not in ECS, and you take it from there. You go down, you investigate, or you troubleshoot it, or you fix the issue. Right? With that being said, we get to the end of the video. Let me know in the comment section if you have any question. With that being said, I'll see you in the next one.